and paste it on my public machine, right? And this instance, will use it to communicate with this instance, Ansible instance, that reside in the private subnet. So I will go to my file will reside, then open a CMD, right? But now, if I want to communicate, for example, SSH EC2 user, right? And then, sorry, and then go to my this instance and copy the public address, right? And try to make an SSH to it. Hit enter, right? Type yes, the permission denied. And why that? Because I must use the PIM or the key pair, right? So there are two ways to do that. Either you can use the ssh-e and use this key pair, right? Name, then communicate with it, or otherwise you can generate an SSH keys on your Windows machine, then copy the public key, right, and paste it in this instance, right? Then the SSH will make successfully, right? So let us do that. So I have already generated key pairs, right? And they are reside here, right? This is the private key pair and this is the public key pair. So this key pair, right, I will open it in a text editor, then I will copy it, right? Then I will go here to my patient instance and go down in dash, because if we try to list the files that we have here, there is no file, but if we type dash l e, and it means e to show me the hidden files, right? And there is an SSH file here. So I will get in this file, right? Then I will list the continent and they have the authorized keys, and then I will type cat, right? Then authorized, click on the tape, right? Cut, then here I will paste that, then Control C. Now if I try to cut the continent of my authorized, then type is I have two, right? Then I will back to my home directory. Now if I try to make an SSH now, right? Yes, it's work. That is nice. So I will exit, right? And now what I have to do is I will, but let me first, I will list the continent. That is, I have to see my current directory, right? And then I will use the ccopy, right? And here I will type the name of the file that I want to copy, right? PIM. Then the EC2 instance user, right? And the public IP address, right? And here, right? And in which directory I want to copy it, in the home EC2 user, right? So if I click on hit enter, right? It worked. Now if I come back here and try to list the continent, right? Sorry. If the terminal stuck like this, is because of problem of connection, right? Because we are communicate with our AWS account that reside in another country. So that is why it is very, sometimes the terminal is stuck because of the network, right? The network speed. So the key is here. So now if I try to list -l and see the permission of this key, I have to add to it the permission of execution, and to add that I will add the execution permission only for the user. So this one for the user, this one for the group, and this one for others, right? And this is the owner and this is the group, right? So if I want to allow anyone in this group to read this file, I have to add the read of permission to it, right? So if I want only the user to execute this file, so I have to use the chmod. So it means change mod of the file. Then u means user. Then I will add it the permission of execute that file. Then p8s. Then click on the tape, and it will automatically detect this file and will paste its name here. Then I will click enter, right? So if I try now to list, I will have the permission of this key to be executed, right? So now if I type ssh.i, then es type, then ec2 user, right? Then the private IP address of the Ansible server, right? Then paste the password, sorry, the private IP address here, and click enter, right? So they told me R2 open, right? So you require that your private network are not accessible. So get permission. So what I have to do, I have to restrict it. So to restrict it, I should type chmod, right, all, right, then minus read, sorry, read, and then key hs ls-l, right? And then for the group, so we have chmod group minus to write, right? Then the name of the file. So now if I try to type to use that ssh permission denied. So I have to read the file. So for that, I must to add the read permission. So what I have to do is chmod use user, then execute phs, not execute but read this file, right? And click on the tape button. And then if I try to, yes, now I am within my Ansible server EC2 instance. Now I can do commands, run any script on that EC2 instance. And the first thing that we are going to do is try to install Ansible on that server. So the first thing that I will type is to update, is that I will update the packages as yes in that server or in that EC2 instance. Now it cannot update or do anything. You can see because they cannot what? They cannot communicate with the outside. They cannot access to the internet, right? So what we have to do,